It's live. It's live. Oh god, it's live. Right. Lovely to see you folks. We are going to be attempting some solo shenanigans. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I'm not making any guarantees. I would like to try and get a solo nuke run going. If it materializes, I'm here for it. If it doesn't go to plan, it is what it is. Either way, we're going to be giving it a jolly good try. That is the plan. We're going to be solo nuke running today. The loadies we are using is the BASB. We will also be using the HMR9, which is the build that I'm currently rocking. And then we are also using a slightly different set of perks. So we've got Battle Hardened, we've got EOD, but we're also running Tracker instead of Quick Fix, which I think is worthwhile. So Tracker, High Alert, so we're going like a full Stalker loadout, if you will. So that's the plan. And hopefully things go accordingly. We need to get 5 solo wins in a row. And then from those 5 solo wins in a row, we then need to try and do a nuke. So that's going to be pretty difficult, I can't lie. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be a challenging experience. Solo nuke runs are notoriously the hardest type of nuke runs in the game. But we're going to give it a go. We're going to give it a try. A good old college try, if you will. Jamie, good to see us. Spiral, hope you're doing well. We're going to have a little sip of the skill juice and see how we do. We'll see how we get on. Right. Good afternoon, folks. Good to see you. Good to see all of you. Hope you're doing well. It's been a busy 48 hours for me, I'll be real. Been editing videos left, right, and center for the past 2 or 3 days, and it has not been easy. We're gonna see how we get on. Step 1's getting 5 wins in a row. That's arguably harder than the actual nuke run itself to some extent, or equally as difficult, if you will. Okay, so the MTZ still, well, it's the MTZ sucks. Like, it's 2 plates. I'm so glad they nerfed those guns last night. What an absolute moment. Absolute kings Warzone are to get that done. Bloody took them long enough. Yeah, it's hard to say. For the 5 wins, like, arguably 5 wins are as challenging, or equally as challenging as actually the nuke itself, so we'll see how we get on. I'm not putting any pressure on it, that's for sure. We're gonna land... We are gonna land... We're gonna land... Gonna go deep for that scav. Slightly more risky, but I'm gonna go deep for it. Well, yeah, the first 5 games are gonna be fairly passive. Like, there's no major inclination for me to really push people. Like, if I'm gonna do 5 wins in a row, like, I may as well just play center circle and play for final zone positioning. Which we will do. I believe in us, chat. I believe. I think this guy might be coming for the scav as well. If he is, I'm just going to play him out.
Gas is moving.
Easy enough. No point letting him get a free run at it. Gonna quickly check that my graphics are in full screen exclusive. Yep. Cool. All right, we're good. Step 2, get 7.5. Should be somewhat easy enough. Win 5 games. Once we've won 5 games, go for a nuke. Spam lots of airstrikes. Good God. Solo nuke run is going to be somewhat moderately nightmare fuel, I won't lie. A, just getting all of the elements into an intelligent spot, and B, just defending them. It's going to be quite challenging. The only benefit of a solo nuke run is that everybody will just be shooting each other to some extent. Central circle for this is going to be topside city, so we are going to play for that. Self-res goes first. Perfect. Second portable radar. Perfect. Get a loady, call it in. Get a UAV. Stow that. This guy in front of me has just landed in. We're gonna play towards his general direction, but I'm not necessarily going to challenge him. Not if I don't need to, anyway. Skedaddle. Time to skedaddle. No point really chasing him into that building. Like, there's not a huge amount to gain from those early gunfights. Like, I'm better off just chilling on a roof, which is exactly what I'm gonna go do. I'm gonna go find me a roof, lock up a win, bone apple teeth. Some theories that there is someone here.
Gas is closing in. Get to the new safe zone. Be advised.
Okay, that's that geezer dealt with. Right, honestly, looking at the circle, circle's a bit too early to call, but I am going to go lock up this building here, just for the time being, because it's a more defendable position. Oh, there's a guy right here. We'll take a gassy. It's a more defendable position, so we're going to go play towards that. A car's just pulled out in front of me, so we've got to keep an eye on that. Definitely going to be somebody mincing around this general area.
You're losing ground. Move it.
I'm actually just going to steal the vehicle. Easier than going for the zip. Sorry, this building here is what we're going to take. Portable radar for the rotation. So now we basically know where everybody is, or at least anybody of concern. Unless they've got a vest on, which is normally fairly unlikely in these scenarios. Upstairs. Gonna loot around, just see if we can get some extra passive loot, whether that's like a spare self-res. Fill up an extra stack of plates. Always good having 2 self-reses in solos, can't lie. Extra cash and extra in-game economy is always a bonus. Another self. Don't need that many self-reses. I'm just going to take this and put this on the roof. We're just going to chill in here for a bit. We know roughly where the circle is. That guy's firing one of those BFB breaks. There's somebody on my roof. Just landed in. We're just going to take it easy. See where circle goes. Don't need to rush into anything right now. There's somebody in my building / on my roof. That's fine. I've got portable radars to work with. If I need to make a push out on him, or if he starts making plays on me. He's sliding around, so... He's smoothing and grooving. He's smoothing and grooving, chat. See where the circle goes. We've got 22 seconds to figure out our big rotation. Got a cluster mine, got 2 self-reses, got a portable radar. These are all pretty huge for us winning this game and locking up the final positions. Plus, I've got a zip line over there that I can play.
You got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
Okay. I'm going to let this circle collapse one more time. This is too early to call a building. Yes, one of these blocks does make sense to some extent. That guy's just jumped off and parachuted probably to the zip. Oh. Oh, dear. Well. It's that kind of server, chat. It's that kind of server. Well. 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 Hopefully I don't time out, but I probably will. The physics and the timer and the servers stopped working. Let's have a look in the game chat. Come on, let's have a look in the game chat. Who's doing it? Well. Brilliant. Either the server basically broke or somebody has just DDoS the server, yeah. One of the two. See if I get a rejoin notification. Find out. Waiting for rejoinable game update. Oh, Activision. Activision. When are you going to learn that people are DDoSing your servers? And when are you going to do something about it? Ah, dear. How do their servers not have, like, basic DDoS mitigation as well? Oh, dearie me. Dearie me, chat. Well. No rejoinable game. Perfect. I don't know whether that will count as a win or not. We don't know. My theory is that sometimes it does. If I'm Activision though, like, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. I mean, you know, I'm gonna do a little tweet about it because I can. Oh, dear. DDoS mitigation's harder than you think. You're at the whim of the cloud provider. It's Amazon or Call of Duty, AWS. It's 20 hertz Amazon servers for Call of Duty at the minute. That probably will change to Microsoft Azure at some point over the next few years, but not anytime soon. Amazon 21 tick rate servers is what we're playing on. Well, it's time to start again. That could have counted as a win. It's not impossible. Yesterday when we had the same problem, it counted as a win. So hypothetically, maybe that counts as a win. We'll see. Yeah, they did put it up to 45 towards the end of Warzone 2, Dad Gamer, and seemingly they've just some servers are running higher, some servers are running lower. It's all a bit wild right now. Like generally, though, I'd say 20 is the most average.
Check your gear and weapons. We'll be deployed shortly.
It's a little disappointing. I mean, this is the one downside of these Nuke runs. Like, you know, if I was Activision, I'd be doing some very serious time and money investments into taking out these services that are trying to sell nukes. Because a lot of them are just destroying their servers. Battlefield 4 had 60 hertz servers by the end of its life cycle. In fact, no, tell a lie. On PC, Battlefield had 128 hertz servers. Valorant's 120. PUBG is 60.
Prep time's over. Now you deploy to the war.
The finals is 60 hertz. Call of Duty has the lowest servers tick rate for any modern battle royale.
Word came down. We are green to go. So gear up, grab your shoes. We're going to the war zone. Enemy activity will be high. Expect contact early and often.
Let's roll. Battle Royale.
Right, let's give this a go again then, shall we?
Keep clear of that gas. Get to the safe zone.
Right, we're gonna go for... I think Apex is higher now. Love them. We're gonna go for... I don't normally do these sorts of scavs, but... You know, I'm gonna go for that. Get a bounty, get a zip, land on his head, get a loadie, bone apple teeth. A higher hertz server just means that the things that happen in the game, like people moving, people shooting at each other, the damage of bullets, it just means that it updates more times per second. And more updates normally means better hit reg, smoother movement, that sort of thing.
Bounty targets marked.
5-tick server on a 110. Star's a bit mad. Yeah, servers are different for Warzone and multiplayer. Obviously, the higher your tick rate plus the higher your player count, the more expensive the server is. So 6v6 COD runs at 60 hertz. 100-player Warzone runs at 20 hertz. So there is a cost basis for all of it. I mean, this guy's fairly close. I don't even know if I'd have to parachute on him. So yeah, multiplayer in COD is 60 hertz, which is why it feels really responsive. I'm actually going to try and zip on him because he might be in that building. So if you've ever played 6v6 and wondered why 6v6 feels as good as it does, that's why. Networking generally with more players is a harder thing to do. which is why most dev studios struggle with it. But for context, Battlefield 2042's 128 player servers had 45 hertz servers. So it's not impossible. It really just depends on how much your company actually gives a damn about spending money on good quality servers. Why did that sound like somebody threw a nade or something? Alright, I'm just gonna go land on this geezer's head. Historically, Battlefield has always had the best servers of... Well, not historically. Over the last... From end of Battlefield 4 onwards, DICE and EA have generally had the best server infrastructure of any large-scale shooter. Battlefield are one of the few companies who actually care about hit reg in their games and actively spend money to make sure that it's good.
Primary objective complete. All targets eliminated.
Private matches, I think, are 60 as well, El Loco. But private matches in Warzone are still 20. Like, the tick rate doesn't change, basically. It's entirely dependent on player count for Call of Duty in terms of how much they spend. Yeah, we probably will have some of the same people in. I believe I am receiving streamer mode soon. I had some conversations with Call of Duty regarding needing streamer mode.
Drop headed your way.
So hopefully that'll be something that's on the horizon for us fairly soon.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone located.
That's an interesting circle. That's Edge Lowtown, so you probably want to be early-ish to, like, up here.
To my mark.
Which is probably what we're going to go do. We've got a self-res already, which is nice. 2 self-reses even. We will get rid of an extra set of plates to have the extra plate box. We've got all of our guns. The only thing I could purchase, really... If I could pull together another 2K, a UAV would be handy. But I'm not going to force it. I'll take the portable. Where is my closest zippy? Play for fast car. Go grab get the vehicle over to the zip line in the buy station. Chilling. Only 65 alive, so a lot of people have died off already. Somebody's doing like a recon of some demeanor in that big building over there.
Got gas moving in.
It's honestly one of the reasons I'm disappointed that Battlefield has had a fairly unsuccessful couple of releases. Because Battlefield has always done the important things properly. Battlefield has always had excellent servers. It's always had good hit reg. It's always had fairly good audio. Battlefield historically very seldom gets these things wrong. And when they do get them wrong, they do address them. So it's one of the main reasons I've kind of missed Battlefield being a competitor in the scene, is just, you know, they've always had these great elements to their games. You know, EA actually spends money on their servers, you know? You know, even Battlefield 2042 had 45 hertz servers for 128 players, which is very impressive considering the amount of physics in Battlefield games. Best audio in the gaming industry by a country mile? I'd agree. I think the only people who get close to them is probably Squad, Jason. I would say Battlefield has the best audio system in terms of footsteps and hearing enemy players. Arguably, maybe a game like Hunt Showdown is pretty close as well. In fact, Hunt Showdown probably arguably is a little bit better. But for me personally, in terms of the raw sound of audio in the game, like in terms of the quality, Squad is unreal. Like the sound of a tank shell firing over your head in Squad, there's nothing like it. I honestly think there's nothing like it. Like when you get into those intense gun battles in squad and you hear missile silos start landing next to you or mortar strikes hitting you, like I honestly think in terms of immersion, there's nothing that comes close. If there are any squad enjoyers in chat, yeah, 100%. Their directional audio is incredible. If there's any squad enjoyers in chat, they'll know what I'm talking about. Like, the immersion factor of squad's audio is just unreal. Like, I've always said the guys who worked on squad's audio deserve, like, awards. So does the composer for it, Scott Tobin. That guy does some really good work. We're just chilling here, by the way, chat. We kind of got no reason to move right now. Ever just eat a full block of cheese?
You got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
There are no right or wrong answers to this circle, but I think at this point I'd probably want to be over the ridge rather than on this side of the ridge. Snacking cheese is a must. I agree. I agree. We live in a snacking cheese society. Just gonna toss this down here. We don't have any mines or anything at the moment, which I'm a little bit cautious of. Given that there are 2 stairwell entries on this building. I would like at least a suppression mine.
Gas is closing in.
So I am going to look around for one of those quickly. Okay, portable radar. It's pretty good. Not quite what we're looking for, but... I think we're just gonna have to use a portable radars if somebody pushes us. We don't have what we need. I'm not actually gonna play the interior of the building though, because this is far more defendable from the balcony, because you can just play the stairwell rotation. We'll see where the zone pulls. It's a bit of an this is a fairly awkward circle. I'm curious to see how the NFL goes this weekend. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Packers upset the Niners. I would be extremely surprised if the Texans beat the Ravens. But honestly, it's not impossible given the run they're having. Like, if CJ Stroud shows up, that's going to be a hell of a game.
Enemy marked.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
And that is why we had that on standby. Because something like that was inevitably going to happen. And that is also why we're playing the outside stairwell instead of the interior stairwell. Although that being said, we could defend both the exterior stairwell and the interior from here.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
I don't want to see the Chiefs make the Super Bowl. I'll be very real with you. I'm so tired of seeing Patrick Mahomes cheat his way to more trophies, bro. So tired of it.
Enemy soldier incoming.
I did not know he was on the roof, but I did not know that this guy selfed because there was no audio.
Losing ground. Move it.
I mean, this is pretty dependable. I think I've just heard somebody put a cluster mine down in the building, so that's curious. The thing for me with the Chiefs, like, I appreciate that they're a good team, but they've gone away with holding in so many key games to a point where I just find it insufferable to watch. Like, I find it insufferable to watch. Like, holding calls don't exist for the Chiefs, you know? They exist for everybody else, though. This is a very defendable building. I actually might play the interior of this. I will say, though, that despite their up and down season, they will show up throughout the playoffs. There's no way they don't. Like, they are a team who just don't. They're a team who won't quit, you know what I mean? Two LTVs driving around chasing after each other. Hopefully nothing suspicious there.
Gas is inbound. Marking a new safe zone.
Yeah, which of them are we are?
Area is clear.
Requesting fire
Friendly
mission.
loadout drops
Target
on the
marked.
way.
Gonna pre-mortar those,
Mortar strike inbound now.
I'm just had...
Enemies dropping into the AO.
No hit.
Gas is inbound.
I like Brock Purdy, but I do agree with Cam Newton. I think he's a game manager and arguably not a special QB. For me personally, like, I think the best QB this season in terms of like a team that shouldn't have done well but did well. For me, it's got to be CJ Stroud. Like, the Texans as a team should not be doing as well as they are. But they are because they've got a QB who literally can carry them on their back when it goes south. Obviously, there's Lamar Jackson. Everybody knows Lamar Jackson's incredible, but the Ravens have a good team. CJ Stroud has made the Texans a statistical anomaly, and I think that's what makes him impressive.
Gas is closing in. Get to the new safe zone.
Who's that Bears QB? Forgotten his name. It's briefly blipped from my brain. You guys know what I'm talking about. The Bears QB. Love does look really good. Love does look really good.
Mosquitoes online.
Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields is a fantastic QB. I think he just has a terrible team around him. And I think if Justin Fields had a half-decent O-line and a half-decent team, he would be a phenomenal quarterback. I have 9 people spectating me.
Gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
Damn. Cheech.
Oh boy, only 5 remained. You were close. The enemy took
Did that guy just get
We'll get
kicked?
him back.
Oh no, he's still. Is he still in? Is this the guy who got me? Did he get kicked? Did I just? Oh,
Closing in.
have I just lost a game to somebody who's been instantly kicked? Oh, you're bannering me, man. Come on, bro. He just got kicked, bro. So he was cheating. What are the odds? He got kicked. Brilliant. Oh, man. So I died to somebody who was so accurate that Ricochet went, yep, he's cheating. Man, that's rough. That is actually rough. So first game on, server gets DDoSed. Second game on, I die to somebody who cheats and instantly gets booed from the game after he kills me. Broski. What have I just seen? Oh, man. And that was a good game as well. That was a good game. That's mad. That is utterly mad. Oh, dear. That's a joke, man. That's jokes, man. It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. I don't like the ambient noise that the gas mask makes, Blame. It makes too much sound, which stops you hearing things. Oh, dear. That's rough, bro. 2 games in a row. Solo game 1, server gets DDoSed by a cheater. Solo game 2, killed by a cheater. Oh, fuck. That's wild, man. What do we do, eh? What do you do? To be fair, like I thought the guy on the hill killed me quite quickly, but it was a Basby, so I didn't really pay much attention to it. I was like, oh, you know, it's a Basby. Like he like slide cancelled before he took the shot, so I figured he was a half decent player, right? And then that's it. It's just GG, bro. Like just instantly,
Use this time for some target practice. Real thing
he's just
coming soon.
instantly killed me. That's wild. That is wild.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Trip time's over. Now you deploy to the war zone.
I want that bird ready in 3 mics. Relay those coordinates.
Right. I'm going to talk you guys through this solo game. We're going to go through it bit by bit.
We are green to go.
I'm going to put my hoodie up because my ears are cold, even with the headset on. If this looks goofy, I don't care.
Watch your ass down there.
Oh, gosh. All right, I'm going to warm up. Quick little warm up. Speed, warmth, passion and warmth. I look like a little degenerate. Oh, also, I want to talk about, yeah? I went out last night. I went out for some cocktails. I came home. I was on the tube. I came home. I get out of the tube station. Some geezer's just like two-stepping outside the tube station. I was like, what's going on? We're not going to go for Stronghold. We are going to play... We're going to play this bounty.
Let's hit this LZ first.
Right. Plan as usual. Get bounty. Grab guns. Land on somebody from the bounty. That is going to be the overall setup. Okay, I've never seen a bounty spawn on a roof before, but I'm not upset about it.
Bounty targets are up. Get after 'em.
Did I get that? Grab some decent weapons, and then it's basically instant loadout if we get the bounty out quickly, which I think we can do. As long as you've got like a half-decent set of guns, you can chow pretty much anybody, so... I'll take the Hulk at 26. Pretty solid weapon these days. I need to play across to the zip. There's somebody on my right. I'm not really going to play through that.
Losing ground.
Do you want me to start spitting some bars? Yeah, literally, I'm not even joking. Some guy, like, I get out of the tube station, and like this guy, he's wearing headphones. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Bro's just like hitting some jigs. He's Fortnite emoing outside the tube station. I'm just like, what is going on, bro? Like, and then he gets picked up by a suspicious-looking vehicle, and I was just sort of like, yeah, man, Jeej. Like, don't know what's going on, but I hope you have a good time. Right, anywho. We've got our this guy's in a really awkward spot because this building is so large that he literally could just be anywhere. And there's another guy who's also deciding to get involved. Oh no, that is him. Okay, that actually makes things somewhat marginally easier. Huh.
Primary objective complete. All targets eliminated.
Right, that guy's just crossed outside left, so he's probably going to play across towards the stronghold building. Okay, there's two guys playing across towards the stronghold. I've broken glass, so they're expecting the push. Whoever this is, he's going to land on my head. I mean, we have enough for a loadie now, so I think, you know, this is kind of a lose-lose game scenario. So I'm just going to play across. Okay, there is a guy in the compound. I can get a freebie on this geezer. Just ADS walk it, because he knows I'm here. Or at least he'll know. Long day for him. Cool. Got what we needed out of that. Nice cheeky little freebie. Here's the thing about solos, right? Like, you need to let other people sound queue for you. There was no need for me as a player to run into that building.
Got a loadout drop inbound.
Somebody just tried chasing me with a bomb drone. Because then at that point, I'm just letting him know where I am. That guy who's seen the bomb drone is probably thinking I'm vulnerable in the water, and he's probably going to play me.
Get to the new safe zone.
Yeah, he's playing across the zips. I'm just going to get a loadie here. Never fire on somebody unless you can guarantee yourself the kill. This guy will probably come straight back in for his loadie. So,
Friendly loadout drops on the way.
want to be fairly rapid about this. I'm actually going to take a sniper this round. Right in front of me. Somebody's head definitely just appeared, like, on the back of this. Or at least that's what I thought it was. Oh no, somebody is PRDing away.
Got gas moving in.
Right, I need to think about circle here. I spend too much time focusing on these random little gunfights, so I'm not thinking about my positioning. We're going to play towards a zip line. City is the most logical place to go right now. We want to be across that side of the river. That's the most obvious choke point that's going to be an impending problem for us. So the general focus here is, like, when you're on these exterior parts of the circle, these generally are the areas you get the most amount of problems. Because people don't really move in solos until they feel a need to move. Just got to be careful of the fact there's a lot of buildings here that I could be audibly queuing and making noise for, so I'm just going to be smoking out this zip a little bit. Get on it. Get out of here. Just going to go zip to zip here to give me a bit of extended range. So we pop shoot. We cut shoot. And we spam square. And then that'll get us across over these roofs. Just going to be careful. Keep an eye on these rooftops, because I definitely could be killed from them fairly quickly. I'm actually going to play into fire station here, just temporarily. It's a nice place for me to gather my thoughts and have a think about my next move. Okay. Someone parachuted near me there. And if it's somebody who's aggressive, they're trying to hunt me. I don't have a portable radar. He's above me. He's above me. He's made a metal clang. He's now ADS walking to the door, because he's trying not to make any noise on this push, because he knows I'm here. Oh yeah, I did notice that. That's some weird ambient pixeling? It's like little light pixels. It's really odd. I've never noticed this before.
You're being tracked by an enemy squad.
They're like weird little
And survive.
dust particles.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
That's pulled more north than I would have liked. Which means the best building in the area is going to be probably this one.
Moving.
This guy's still
Enemy
here, though.
formation incoming.
Always play off your last sound cue, so assume that that guy's still in that building. You know what I mean? Don't presume that he's left because you haven't heard him for a while. Right, I'm just going to go straight down into this little river here, because it's a nice way of moving through the city without being painstakingly obvious. Stay out of the water, though, where you can, because water is one of the loudest audible cues in the game, alongside metal. So we're just going to slow walk this bit.
Gas is inbound.
I'm going to assume that somebody is in this building. And because of that assumption, I'm going to go through the roof. Even better.
Need recon overhead.
Okay, close enough. No one here by the looks of it. Right, this is defendable because we have
The enemy is no longer tracked.
limited get-ups into this building. It's mostly ladders. You can play this building room by room, which makes it more defendable than most other buildings. Like if I'm playing this building right now, I am popping a cluster mine up here,
Cluster mine deployed.
and then I'm playing this room specifically. Because this room, you've got that stairwell there, and you know through here you've got the doors. But you can rotate on the stairwell through here, and they have to hold two angles when they push you. So yeah, we can just sound cue this entire building, basically. The more intelligent thing to do, which I probably will do, is take one of those crappy-looking shacks. I know that sounds really stupid. We'll see with the zone pulls. But generally speaking, those crappy-looking shacks, it's just one building. They are the most defendable building in the game, so... Like, that building there is arguably the most defendable building in the game. It's technically a hybrid build zone, but honestly, the ADS on this is so fast, it makes no difference. The TTK is the same. It's got slightly better damage range than the default CQB build. Better recoil control. It's the HMR9 SMG. But look at the ADS speed on this thing. Like, it's rapid, like...
Gas is moving in. New safe zone located.
That's pulled really awkwardly. I'm going to have to make a risky play to bank building. The reason I'm saying that is because you don't want to have to make this cross in the open that I'm going to have to make later in the game when more people are confined in this space. You'd rather make it now, whilst people are a bit more spread out. I can't play the roof of the bank because the blocks are still in play, but I can play top floor of the bank building. And rather than using the interior of the building, because people might scum it, we can do a nice, easy, cheat peek that way.
Gas is closing in.
As per usual, we're looking for things that could help us in this building. So, claymores, perfect. Anything like a portable radar, anything like a suppression mine. All of those are pretty huge. This is a really solid place to hold because when you do fight somebody, you can just re-peek them and keep re-engaging them when you're prone. There's only one entryway. I don't think most players are intelligent enough to make the move I just made on the zip line, so I'm a little less worried about that. But you can play in between these desks, which is what we're going to do. This puts us in a really nice position for end circle. I've got a mortar if anybody's on my roof, which means I can force them off it if the gasket's pretty closed. So I'm kind of in a really good position here, like towards endgame circle here. Like I'm probably in the best spot I can be in right now. There is another proxy mine here, which I am tentatively going to put on this window just in case somebody does make that play. It's a rare play, but it's not impossible. I'll be able to hear if people push the end of this as well. Like, I'll be able to hear if people push this building because they will just take out some of the chests under me. And also, realistically, I've got a disgusting head glitch here. Like, if I lose this gunfight with this heady... Oh, people are timing out. That's not good. That's not good. Oh, don't let this be another one of those servers. Don't let this be another one of those servers, COD. We've been mortared. Somebody's just parachuted off the roof. Okay, somebody's retaking roof.
Gas is inbound, marking a new safe zone. New log is closed until further notice.
I mean, the building we were in still would have been fine-ish, but you're in a lot of open space. I think this is better. I think this is a better building to take.
Loadout drop headed your way.
You don't want to play at the end here because you're basically conceding this open space of the room to somebody who pushes stairs, which is why we're playing where we are. Like, once somebody gets up on this floor uncontested, they're going to use all of this cover against you, so you don't want to concede that area of the room to them.
Gas is moving.
Yeah, the timing out stuff's weird, bro. Like, I've seen some people DDoSing servers today, man. Like, it's not been great. Ah, Dixon Cider just timed out or left. Somebody else is also just mortared. I'm going to briefly take a look at this window whilst that mortar comes in, because we have had people parachute off. Oh, somebody's sliding below me now. I'm actually going to play quite aggressive here.
10 remain. You're almost done here.
DDoSing is a thing in this game, Nova. People who are selling nuke skins are very commonly DDoSing the game server to try and crash the game server and preserve their win. You're referring to lag switching. Lag switching isn't possible on a dedicated server. DDoSing is entirely possible on a dedicated server. Lag switching is possible in a peer-to-peer server. I'm gonna mortar this whilst these guys fight. Why? Because I can.
Copy that. Mortar strike inbound.
Lag switching is deliberately messing with your own connection in a peer-to-peer environment to make the game unenjoyable for everybody else on your connection. DDoSing is sending a dynamic denial of service attack, usually through the form of empty packets of information, to a server to overload it and force it to crash. Those are two separate things. But DDoSing does exist and people can do it in Warzone. And people have been doing it in Warzone. This is one of those where having a gas mask would be super beneficial, if I'm being honest. I need this circle to thin out a little bit. And in fact, I actually am going to have a look around. Like, people don't know I'm necessarily here. But if I can get some easy sniper picks here, I will try and give it a go. That guy's seen my glint, so he's jumped off that roof. And I'm okay with that.
Gas is closing in. Get to the new safe zone.
This might be the worst circle I've ever seen. Oh, I changed my mind. This is the worst circle I've ever seen.
Got 4 remaining. Stay sharp.
This is plausibly the worst circle imaginable for this situation.
You're losing ground. Move it. Gas is inbound. Marking a new safe zone. Accomplished.
Jeez.
Targets eliminated.
Whew.
All teams, extraction is inbound. Get hooked in and stand by. Here comes the snap.
That was not a great circle. Right, I suppose we better enable the old text.
Living to tell the tale. That's what I'm talking about. Time for assessment. You fight through hell and not a scratch on you. Good shit.
That was well done.
No rest for the
Well
wicked.
done.
Let's get back to work.
That was a really rough final circle. Really, really rough final circle. You do not want to be in one of those. Especially with the weapon options I had in that scenario, that would not have been ideal. That would not have been ideal at all. Like, if I got caught in a medium range gunfight there against a Basby without smoke, I probably would have lost it. Any tips for somebody trying to learn Warzone and controller for the first time? My thing with controller settings is I honestly think you should go into the deep end and then stick with it versus trying to get better with bad settings. I see people often go like, "Oh, I'm not great on controller. I'll play 4 cents or 3 cents. I'll play with a really low sensitivity and I will try and just get better that way." And they try to improve it little by little. When in reality, playing controller is all about consistency and muscle memory. You are better off going into the deep end. I play 10-10. 10-10 is a lot higher for people on the whole, I'd say. I would recommend probably going 8-8, but use the rest of my settings. Play dynamic, play low dead zones, play response curves and stuff like that. Exclamation mark controller in chat if you're interested on what settings I actually use. But use those settings and don't change them. Like, if you go 8 cents, stay 8 cents. If you go 7-7, stay 7-7. I go 10-10, but generally speaking, I think that might be high for somebody who's getting into controllers. I'd say 8-8. I honestly believe the biggest mistake I see from most people is they try to use really bad settings that ultimately won't make them better, but it makes them feel like they have more control over what's going on. Whereas I think you're better off just going in raw with the most OP settings imaginable and just getting used to it. Exclamation mark controller EU or controller NA if you want to buy the exact controller I'm using, by the way. Which is a lovely aim controller customized with RGB thumbsticks and back paddles and grips and digital buttons. Would recommend. Use code TTB in the AIM controller store or click the link if you're interested in buying one. How long did it take you to get good at claw? That's a good question, Jade. I think NA is the store for Aussies, Colfie. I might be wrong though. I think they can ship it to Australia. You just have to be a bit wary of import tax and stuff. How long did it take? I've never, the concept of claw, like when I started doing a controller cam, people were like, "Oh, you play claw," and I didn't know what they meant by that. Like I'd never, like that didn't mean anything to me. Claw is just how I naturally hold my controller. Like this is what makes sense to me. And I think a lot of people who play claw, when you ask them, when did you start playing claw? Most of them will just say, I've always played claw. That's just how I hold the controller. And that's how I hold the controller. Like claw is natural to me. Like it's not something I really think about. Even with back paddles, I still play claw.
Enemies are dropping into the area.
That man's
Watch
just
the
landed
skies.
on me. Let's go into game chat and see if anything dodgy's been
All
typed.
stations, we are green to go. Stand by for deployment.
Right.
I want that bird ready in 3 mics. Relay those coordinates.
New solo game. Let's talk about it.
We got the green light.
Let's see. Let's see how we go. Hey, thank you very much. Really appreciate you.
On all threats. Watch your ass down there.
Let's have a think. I like the idea of this. That is a nice scav. Nice scav. Zipline nearby. Lets me get deep in the zone. I think I'm going to have company on this. But I think the majority of the circle is going to jump. Oh, loadout drops inbound. I'm going to play loadies. I don't normally recommend the average player play loadies, but I will play loadies. The first loadout drop should land somewhere like edge cargo. So, on the furthest most plane, it'll be edge cargo or somewhere between cargo and pop-off. I'm going to float and let these guys fight each other because they're going to get overzealous. If he doesn't land, I will. Oh my gosh. Fair play. I played that badly. I was expecting somebody else to challenge him early there, and they didn't. Also, I didn't get the interact on the loadout when I went past it, which was a little bit annoying. I think it was because he was using it at the same time, which is unfortunately a bug in Warzone. Which can get you killed. I don't normally recommend giving up the hill position there like I just did. But if it works, eh? I'm probably going to have a look at this. Blake, thank you for the 5 super chat. Appreciate it. I'm just going to float over this loadie for a second. Just going to float over this loadout for a second and see if anybody's camping it. That's great. I'm just going to go in raw. Who cares? Fun fact, by the way. If a loadout still has its smoke plume early in the game, it usually means nobody's used it. I'm actually going to play into the tunnel. If I play in the tunnel here, it will get me out of the way of people who are potentially pushing off for this Lodi. Because people will land in on this Lodi again. Like, that's a given. Naturally, any loadout that you're on is going to be a source of interest for any player. So, as long as you always assume that there's always people heading towards it, you will always end up in a better scenario. So we're just leaving that loadout. I haven't got many zip lines at the moment, which is somewhat of a concern. I'm going to play left here towards the cash drop and the bounty. Just to get a bit more passive cash on board. I think that's kind of important at this stage in the game. And that is why you always check out cash buildings. I'm going to lob that fairly central.
You got a loadout drop inbound.
Something that not a lot of people know about cash buildings is that... Huh. I genuinely didn't think there was anybody in here because of the loot boxes. What's something a lot of people don't know about cash buildings is they have the highest drop rate for rare loot in the game.
Friendly buy station deployed. Loadout drop headed your way.
The mosquitoes online.
Friendly buy station is ready. Gas is inbound, marking a new safe
Just gonna buy a nice early UAV here and loot around these buildings. I'm specifically looting for a gulag or redeploy pack because we've lost those. We've lost that ability early here, so... Always get yourself reses.
Our Guardians lost power.
We broke glass, so I'm just gonna pop this straight away.
You're losing ground. Move it.
We're gonna keep the Guardian. Somebody's just been dive bombed by one of my mosquitoes. That did not go to plan, but that's fine. Could really do with a gulag entry kit. basically a get out of jail free card if you make a bad play. So it's pretty much exclusively what we're looking for here.
Our mosquitoes online.
I'm just going building to building with these things.
You got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
Okay, we're gonna start working our way towards that zip whilst we loot, because we need to start thinking about circle.
Bounty targets are up. Get after 'em.
I mean, the easiest thing for me to do is go king hunting. So I'll be real with you, chat. That's probably what I'm gonna go do.
Gas is moving.
I'm going to get on this zip, get that king, land on his head, and then take the bounty. Because if I take his crate, I should get a redeploy. And even if he completes it by the time I get there, that's fine.
Target is EKIA. Airdrop is inbound.
Need aircraft overhead.
Well, that worked. I mean, not that I'm surprised that it worked. I mean, I knew it was going to. This guy on the left is probably salty that I killed the king that he wanted to kill, so he's probably going to try and play across to me at some point. But we'll see. I mean, I got what I needed out of it, which was a gulag entry kit. I also now have 2 UAVs on board. I'm going to pop another UAV as I make my way towards that zip, and I'm going to quickly get into one of the buildings near the zip and make a decision about my rotation along the way. I'm going to pop a UE here just because this is very edge circle and it is entirely plausible that there are people just mincing around. There's somebody actually, like... My bounty's far away. Far enough away that I'm not really thinking about him. I'm going to let circle collapse and then I'm literally just going to pop UAV, hit zip and leave.
Gas is closing in. Get to the new safe zone. UAV is bingo fuel. I'll see you this time. Supply Supply crates are restocked. Advise you load up now. We lost that sumbitch. Bounty contract's been pulled.
Okay, Best position in this circle is probably the under
Moving to
on
my
green.
Recon overhead.
Yeah, under on green is the way to go here.
Be advised, UAV is exiting the AO. Gas is closing in.
I was kind of hoping those guys would run into each other. But unfortunately that hasn't happened. We're in the best position in the circle, really. So these guys are all going to play rooftops, and that's kind of the mistake they're all going to make. Every single one of them is going to play that rooftop, and it's just going to become a mess. I'm going to play scatter mines up top. Yes, somebody could push me for the window. The odds of that are quite low, I'd argue. This lets me be aggressive through this side of the building if I want to be, through the window. That's honestly just not something I'm thinking about. Like, I'm quite content playing interior of this. Effectively, what's going to occur here, chat, is everybody's going to land on rooftops around me. Basically, the entire zone is going to land like here, 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 and maybe a little bit up on this side as well. They're all going to play each other out. And if I just play interior here with this scatter mine on the stairwell, I basically can't lose. The only way I would get beaten is if somebody pushed through this corridor up here, like by parachuting off a roof. So I just need to be wary of that, but it's not like a primary concern. And obviously somebody could parachute through that window. But both of those are fairly unlikely options. The crate audio does somewhat reduce my audible range of footsteps and slides, but we're just going to keep playing us. Plus, I have glass on both windows, which I'm deliberately not going to shoot out because they could be early warning audibles for me. So I'm just not going to touch any of that stuff.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
Yep, we're still pretty much where we want to be. Blake, thank you again for the 5. Appreciate you, bro.
Friendly loadout drops on the way.
Just going to let these guys play each other out. We're going to let this circle thin itself out. We're on 18. I reckon by the time we hit the end of this circle, we'll be around 10, maybe 9. Maybe a little bit higher if people are playing individual buildings, like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. If people are smart enough to play those individual buildings, then yeah. I've just had a slide. That could be my stairwell. Oh no, it's the exterior of my building.
Gas is inbound.
Nice little freebie for me. People are attracted to noise, so that guy on the roof over here is already looking this way now. Like, I've just heard him slide across that roof twice. No stick drift. No stick drift, Carrick. Couple timeouts here, which is always a little concerning. That mosquito drone is bugged. It's not a mosquito drone. And the reason you can tell is a regular mosquito drone, 12's in the sky, a bugged one doesn't. I am going to quickly make a play for some of this gear. Specifically, specifically the smoke grenade was what I was looking for.
New safe zone located. Only 10 left.
Okay. Got sniped. I have to play the under of this building.
Got gas moving in.
Gonna take some extra smokes for these final circles. I'm just gonna cover these windows up here. The door's closed downstairs, so I know if anybody pushes. We're on about 10, which is roughly where I thought we would be. I know for a fact I've got somebody in this building, and I know there's somebody here, so we just play nice and slow. We don't really need to do anything at the moment. We move when we're forced to move.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
Cool. Now, this guy to my right might try play through me. He might think that's the intelligent play here, and he probably isn't entirely correct. I can't rule out there's somebody being someone in Palace. I genuinely think what I'm going to do here I'm just going to shoot out one window early here. I'm going to sound cue that early deliberately. I'm going to play a gas mask delayed push here. Someone's on my roof. Because what I think is going to occur here is lots of people are going to rush that building. Lots of people are going to rush that building.
Only 4 remain. Finish the
And that's
job.
fine.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone located.
Where am I getting highlighted from?
Gas is inbound.
Dude, he's in here the whole time? What the? Did anybody see him?
Only 5 remained. You were close. The enemy took down one.
What the fuck?
Get him back.
I didn't see the dude, bro. Bro's just blending in as furniture. Christ. That's mad. Bro's just playing as pure furniture. He's gonna lose this, by the way. Bro is actual furniture. What am I seeing? He's definitely gonna lose this. There's no way. Oh dear. I thought he was on the roof, which is where I was getting high alerted from. Like, that would have been the logical decision. Bro is actually pure IKEA. Like, that's crazy. Now, look. I'm not going to be a salty Don about this. That's a lie. I might be a little... There you go. He's dead. Yeah, jeez. I'm going to be a little bit salty. What I will say here and now is that Riot Shields should be banned from Warzone. That's an honest-to-God fact. That's crazy. What I've just witnessed there is ridiculousness. As I've said for the longest of times, Riot Shields should not be in Warzone. I'm not surprised. I'm genuinely not shocked that he's died. Like, I knew he was going to get killed by somebody else. The thing about Riot Shield is like, this is the honest-to-God truth. People who play Riot Shield are shit at the game. Like, they're playing Riot Shield because they're literally, like, terrified Like, they're terrified to move. They're terrified of gunfights. They're terrified of being shot at, and that's why they play Shield. Which is like, I knew he's not going to win the game. Like, nobody plays Riot Shield because they like Riot Shields, or at least very few people do. When they get into a fight, they normally die. That's the build on the Basby. I don't think it should be in the game, but I understand some people are like, oh, it's just a bit of fun, but it's just Riot shielding rewards the worst kind of gameplay in Warzone, and I don't think they should be allowed in solos. It's just not the one. Like, shields generally don't belong in Warzone. Well, I've been fairly transparent with where we've been matchmaking before. Like, you guys have known that we've played NA servers. We've made it like obviously clear that we've played in NA servers before. We are deliberately obscuring where we're playing. Because we've just had a lot of stream sniping recently, amongst other things. So we were just obscuring it, and sometimes we're jumping between regions as well, just because it's just the only way we can really deal with that. I have spoken to Activision about streamer mode. It looks like that's going to be an option for me, but it's just, yeah, it's not something that's immediately available right now. Good God, the sidewinder, that goes crazy. No, I agree. I think the shield should be. I think if you equip a Riot shield, the glass on the shield should be able to break. That would be the first one. 2, it should make you move at like a third of the speed. Like 100%, a third of the speed. It should slow you seriously down. If they want them to be balanced, perfect. Generally though, I just think they shouldn't really be in the game.
Let's get this done. Battle Royale.
Let's have a look at this. I'm gonna go bounty here, zipline.
Gas is approaching on your
As you guys kind of know, bounty zipline is a really solid way of just getting your loadout about as fast as humanly possible. But what I will say is don't take the zip. Don't take the zip early. Sorry, don't take the contract early because you need people to land first for the bounty to select them properly. That's the only thing you need to bear in mind when you go for a contract setup like this. Swarm is still better than pretty much anything else. Right, perfect. So this guy is literally next building over. There's a zip line as well, and I've got a portable radar and 3 plates. Yeah, you used to be able to damage the glass in the old school wars, in the old school Modern Warfare 2. It is a weird thing that they've decided to sort of do away with.
gas is moving.
It's hilarious, I find as well, that in whenever we do like World Series or something, they like have to ban shields, or they have to like deliberately make sure that in solo YOLO nobody's using it, because they know it's cheesy.
All bounty targets destroyed. Hell of a job.
I mean, I can basically thank this geezer for doing the job for me. I mean, that's... I'm gonna drop a portable radar just in case somebody tries to push off the back of that gunfight, which wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't be shocked at that. I'm gonna play through the buy station building just because I feel that we have enough cash But if I find a tiny bit more, I'll get enough. Yeah, I hear you, airliners. I hear you. It gets like that. What can you do, eh? I mean, in fairness, like, I don't blame... Like, in solos, I never blame people for hiding because that is just what you need to do in solos sometimes. You know, I will never call somebody a camper. I will never call somebody, like, you know, a wuss for not taking a fight. Because that is the nature of solos. Solos is the case where sometimes you just have to hide, and that's okay. However, shielders, nah, mate, they can get in the bin. Shielders can get clean in the bin.
Loadout drop headed your way.
We're gonna go for the zippy here, boys. We got our loadie nice and early. Play zip. We're quite edge circle. I'm gonna play towards Old Town. Just gonna watch this block just in case. Always look for immediate threats like that, especially with zip lines in solos. Somebody's like trying to snipe at me. Oh, my aim is windy with a Basby, bro. I'll tell you that. Long range with a Basby? Not me, bro. Not for me. I need to get to that zip anyway. I need to play more across in this direction. Just want to go zip to zip here. I genuinely couldn't tell where that guy was. Like, I thought he was here at the tree just from where the initial shots were coming. I mean, look at this. This skin needs to go again, bro. What have they done? Like, bro's just pure blending in. This is the ranked iridescent skin from Warzone ranked.
Friendly loadout drops on the way. Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
If he wants to play the zip, I'll let him play the zip. I'm not going to be able to get a finish from that range. It's one thing I see a lot of players do. They start a gunfight that they can't finish. If I start a gunfight with that guy right there, he goes into cover, he goes into that building, he has the advantage. There's no point of engaging in a gunfight when you don't have all of the advantages in your hands. I'm going to play central towards Old Town. I'm going to see if maybe I can pick up a couple of kills just to get maybe some UAVs or some extra util on the board. This guy should be a freebie. These little market buildings are actually really good loot. And that's streamer loot found, I'll tell you that much, chat. Somebody's landing on me. If I'm him, I play the bridge.
Target marked.
Copy. Mortar strike inbound now.
Ah. He won't know I've downed myself.
That was a high-risk play, but I had to do it, because once I'm in that one-dimensional room, he knows everywhere I'm going. I mean, that guy just got 4D chest. But, you know, there's not really many ways around it. Bro just got outplayed in pretty much every way imaginable. He still thought I was in that room, because he deliberately backed off on the mortar. I'm going to play across towards Old Town.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone located.
I'm going to double back on myself. I'm going to play the SIP building.
Gas dropping in
I
right.
would like a self-res. I'm going to play into cargo to get that self. I reckon the geezer I just killed will come back out of the gulag, by the way, so I'm expecting him to be here at some point. I'm going to go play the self. I'm going to go play the self-res on cargo, because I can kind of third-person the loadie on cargo. Or should I say third-person the buy station on cargo a bit? I can also get a UAV and just pop it straight.
Requesting recon flyover.
Cool. I think I'm good. I'm going to rotate back across. I'm going to land on this rooftop, and I'm just not going to leave. That zip roof that I was literally on previously, pretty much an undefeated position in this circle. So that is where we are going to be. There's a guy on the edge there who could possibly shoot at me if he wanted to.
UAV is bingo fuel. RTB at this time.
Somebody's going to play that cash drop. The thing about these cash drops is when somebody plays it, I will know, because it will disappear from the screen. So it's kind of almost an early warning system. I don't want to give up the roof, but I also don't want to overexpose myself here. Just going to play nice and low. I don't think I can really be sniped out from anywhere. Somebody's ballsy enough to zipline across, then fair play to them.
Deploying bomb drone.
Bomb drone is off. Effect on target. Gas is inbound, marking a new safe zone.
Okay, we're pretty much in the best position in the zone. We've got a fair bit of cash as well. Figured I'd use the bomb. Like, bomb drones I wouldn't really use in a gunfight in solos anyway, because they could just press once they hear the bomb drone go up. So it's never something I've ever really recommended. think I just heard somebody parachute. So I basically just used the bomb drone as a recon drone there, which I think is a really solid strategy. We're in the best position imaginable here. Somebody's just playing that cash drop over there. We're in the best position imaginable here. We've got the most height of the area. We can be pressed from below, which is obviously something to bear in mind. And whenever somebody makes a press on us like that, we should get an audible on it. Now got a spare self-res as well, so that's good. Here's the thing, you can basically... Because of the way the zipline works, this is a pro life hack for you. Because of the way the zipline works, he will always go over your head when he dismounts from the zip. For the most part, because people always press forward. And the other zip, you can just aim straight out. I'm going to let this guy get the zip. He's going to be on it. There we go. I could still be slow walked up on from stairs, so I am going to keep peeking stairs every once in a while. That guy in the LTV dismounted. And I wouldn't be shocked if he played close. I play jump on my right button, reload on my left. I think this guy's decoying to make a play on this building. Like, he knows it's the best position.
Gulag is closed until further notice. Enemy soldier incoming. You got a loadout drop inbound.
We're just using that smoke as a denial for the person who was under us there. Because that guy was definitely going to peek us. We are not playing roof. Roof is a bad play here. I'm going to play left counter. Guy above me or below me, one of the two. Just gonna try and play a defendable position inside this building. The last roof is still in, yes, but you'd rather make... Look at the amount of gunfights that are going to occur here. I mean, the drone's already gone up. You would rather be where I am now rather than later. The amount of people coming out of this south side, I bet you this drops to about 8 alive, if not less. If this drops to like 8 live, if not less, well, that's one. I can confidently tell you the majority of it will be there. This guy right here to my right, close. He's ADS walked away, so he's on this door now.
For my friends.
It's down to 10. Win this thing.
Now, we obviously want to be... He's probably above, but...
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
Just gonna mortar our roof.
Strike inbound. On target.
Got gas moving in.
Requesting close air. Target marked.
Copy. On approach. Strike inbound. 4 remaining. No hit. Oh boy, only 5 remain.
He is tack sprinted up to me with no audio, and you just get fire shotgun. That's Solos. Whatever they did to the audio, it definitely wasn't enough. It definitely wasn't enough.
Gas is inbound. Safe zone.
And I don't know who designs audio at Raven Software, but there is absolutely no reason for a smoke grenade to out-cue footsteps.
Shadow 1 is inbound for extraction. Visual on your mark.
Like, should never happen. Should never ever happen. If a smoke grenade is down, footstep audio should play over smokes. That should never ever happen. Like, it's the one simple change that would fix a lot of the footstep audio. There's absolutely no way that I should get 0 audio on a guy full sprinting at me. That is horrific. What can you do, eh? What can you do? What can you do? There's something about like there's something about whoever designs the audio at Raven, right? Or wherever it so happens to be. There is something to be said about the fact that they don't seem to understand audio priority, or they do and they're just deliberately not doing it properly. Audio priority wise, smoke grenades should never override footsteps. Airstrikes shouldn't override footsteps. Pretty much nothing should override footsteps. It's a very odd thing that they do with this game engine where ambient noise just has such a precedent over everything else. It's such a weird thing, and only Warzone does this. Literally no other BR or like decent shooter has the weird audio layering that they do. Or they have audio layering, but they just don't do it stupidly. It's just, yeah, like that there's no way you don't hear that. You know what I mean? Like, that guy's full sprinted towards me. He's dropped, bearing in mind, he dropped down, then full sprinted towards me. But the game prioritized me hearing that smoke grenade over me hearing the person to my right. Very, very odd. Very, very odd. But what can you do, eh? And the thing is as well, is that, and this is something that's really odd about smoke grenades generally, smoke grenades have an audio priority across a radius that's larger than the grenade itself, which is very strange. I wouldn't use flex personally. I would never give up alert. Can't say I'm a fan of the shotguns either, if I'm being frank. That being said, I can live with the shotgun situation because they won't be in ranked. I can live with shotguns being in Warzone knowing that they're not going to be in ranked. Do you know what I mean? It's a nice easy way to think about it for me. Like, I hate cluster mines, for example. I think cluster mines as a kill streak shouldn't be in the game, but I know they're not going to be in ranked. So my brain just sort of goes, yeah, that's all right. We'll survive. The new LMG is not particularly great. I'm not a fan. It just doesn't seem to do much, the new LMG. Like, it doesn't have much going for it. Take the nuke skin for a lobby, get easy. Something like that. It's mad that that was with nerf Dragon's Breath rounds. I mean, it's very situational, and like, realistically, if I heard him, he's dead. The reason I don't like shotguns in this game, the reason I don't like shotguns in any first-person shooter, is that shotguns don't take any skill and you just hip fire them. To put into context, a weird comparison, if you will, Squad is a military simulation shooter that is generally a milsim that deliberately tries to be as realistic and authentic to real life as humanly possible. And Squad, up until pretty much this year, bearing in mind the game's been out since 2014, has effectively refused to put shotguns in the game. And they refused because they think the shotguns are too good and are just stupid to put in a video game. And that's a military simulator, you know, a military simulation game. That is their view on it. They view shotguns as being too powerful, so they don't put them in the game. in a similar vein to that, Squad also put a bolt action sniper rifle in the game, but they deliberately made it painfully slow. Because again, anything that can one-shot you, cool, yep. Sniper in real life, probably going to deal with you. Sniper in video games can be a pain in the ass. So they've deliberately not put shotguns into the game, but games like Warzone, and this is something Warzone does a lot of, really. Warzone puts gun categories in the game that they know they can't balance. So a good example of that is shotguns, and another good example of that is DMRs. And arguably another good example of that is battle rifles. So DMRs, they can't balance. If DMRs are good, they're OP. Just by design of what a DMR is, that is how it's been. Shotguns can't be good. If they're good, they're OP. So that they never made any sense anyway. And battle rifles make no sense because battle rifles effectively merge the line between an LMG and an AR, and they pretty much make LMGs and ARs redundant. So battle rifles have never really made any sense either. And those are three categories of weapons that they've put in pretty much every COD, and every COD they struggle to balance them. We've had the MTZ in this version of COD. We had God, what was the single fire in Caldera? I forget what it was called. We had the EBR in Warzone 2. We had the DMR in Warzone 1. We had what was the one in Caldera? There was a single fire weapon in Caldera that was like busted for like a week. Generally speaking, it's always been something they've struggled with. We've had all sorts of fire shotguns, like the Duff. We've had the bloody boomstick in Warzone 3, where you just like straight up one tap somebody with a dual barrel action. Yeah, like the list goes on and on. Like there are so many examples of why those weapons can't be good in Warzone, and they still put them in the game. Like the Basby, for example. I like the Basby. I think it's a cool gun, but this makes ARs entirely redundant, and it also makes LMGs redundant because it does both of what they do. This is both mobile, like an assault rifle, shoots at mid-range, like an assault rifle, but does the damage of a light machine gun. So it makes both of those weapon categories kind of useless. So I've never really understood why they've approached these things the way they have. I don't think broken weapons are fun in pubs, Jimmy. Lots of people always say, oh yeah, they use broken weapons to get players to come back. And that's the polar opposite of that. I think if they use broken weapons in Warzone, it just makes people not interested. Like, if you're a casual player and you come back to Warzone and you get deleted by a gun, you're not going to go and unlock that weapon. You're just going to stop playing. Like, the idea that broken metas sell things for them, I don't think works. In fact, I think it gives them the opposite problem. I think broken metas actually reduce their player retention. And I think they are aware of that as well, which is why Raven Software deliberately committed to being more responsive with balancing. Which, in fairness, I mean, obviously we've had the Christmas break, but they have tried to be. So yeah, like I genuinely think they know as well that they get lower player retention whenever they have a broken meta, which is why you don't really see it. Because a casual player, right? If I'm a casual player who doesn't play a lot of Warzone, what's going to happen to me is I'm going to play a game. I'm going to get killed by a gun that's really overpowered. I've never heard of the weapon before, so I'm not going to level it up because it's going to take like 22 levels, and that's going to take me lots of time. I've maybe got 2 hours to play the game this evening, so I just stop playing and I go and play something else. And that is the loop that exists for COD, and that is the loop that I think they know exists. For whatever reason, I can't seem to matchmake into a solos game. It's being really weird. I'm gonna double check that I haven't got like a ban or something. I'd rather not be shadow banned, but I wouldn't be surprised. did have like 11 spectators in one of our earlier solo games. Come on, Activision. We're going on an adventure. Okay, I'm not shadowed, allegedly. Well, guess I just let it search. And we'll see what happens. Bring back Luddite ground loot. Oh dear. Part of me misses the days where guns had no attachments or you pay. I used to love Bare Bones. I used to love Bare Bones Pro from Black Ops 2. No attachments, no perks. You just had a gun and default kill streaks. I used to love Bare Bones. That used to be my shit, bro. Do you know what the thing is? And this is the big thing for me. I honestly think if I'm COD, and COD won't ever do this because they know it's beneficial for the game, but they would probably have a bit of an uproar about it. Now, they can't reduce the number of guns in the game. If it was down to me, I think they should have maybe 6 or 7 guns in Warzone, and that's it. And then they work that number up and fit those guns into their own unique profiles that fit in between the gaps of the other weapons. They won't ever do that because they like having lots of guns in their game, so on and so forth. If I was COD, I would do one of two things. I would either A, get rid of attachments entirely beyond a few basic attachments. I would allow a magazine attachment. I would allow a optic attachment. I would allow one rail attachment, and that would be it. I would allow you to change 3 things about the gun, and that's it. If they moved from 5 attachments to 3 attachments, they would be able to diversify the weapons in Warzone fairly extensively. They would be able to... you have to delete all of your perks, Mashup. You have to delete every single one of your perk packages, make a default perk package, select that package, and then delete the rest. If they made the guns 3 attachments, they could diversify the weapon pool in such a way that every weapon has trade-offs. And if they did that, that would be super beneficial for the game. Super, super beneficial for the game. Because all of the guns could start actually living within their own categories of bonuses and pros and cons. Whereas the 5 attachment system in Warzone right now lets anybody take a gun that's got loads of pros and basically delete all the cons. Which is why I don't like that new muzzle brake. That new muzzle brake for me is... That new muzzle brake for me offers very few cons and a lot of pros. So if you... Right, I'm going to show you what you want to do if you want to get your perk packages to work properly. First and foremost, you're going to make a new perk package. That is going to be a default perk package. You're going to select that package. Then you're going to go back and you're going to delete the rest. And then you change this to whatever you want it to be. That is the way you fix your perk packages. I cannot seem to find a game, but I'm not shadow banned. According to COD, I'm not shadow banned. And my ping keeps going up to 200, which is a little bit concerning. I'm going to see if I can get into a multiplayer game quickly. Because if not, I will probably just reset the game. Bit weird, but... You can see on the Activision page it says not eligible for appeal. So everything's fine. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. So matchmaking is working. There we go. Solos. Either that or SBMM is so cranked that they can't find me a solos game, which would be a little bit upsetting, but what's a man to do, eh? What's a man to do? Do you reckon you could do a 0 kill, 0 damage win in solos? You could, but like, well, I mean, I know I could. But the problem with those wins is how do you kill the final person in the zone? Because realistically, 9 times out of 10, at least one person will make it final circle. Yeah, but even if you do durable gas mask and a heli, you're assuming that the person below you doesn't have a durable. Like, you're assuming the person below you doesn't have a durable, and then you would also have to have stims on top of that. And even then, like, it would just get a bit long. I still can't find a solos game. I think COD doesn't want me to play solos. They've had enough of me. I've won too many solos. They're sick of me, chat. They've sacked me off. I've been put in the shadow realm. Well, I haven't actually. The website says I'm fine. But it feels like I'm on limited matchmaking. I mean, I'm starting at 25 ping and it's going all the way up to 200 to try and find me a server. But I can get into multiplayer just fine, which is a bit weird. But what's a man to do? What is a man to do? I mean, I could solo duo. That wouldn't be a problem. It's just weirdly odd. They don't want me to see success, chat. They don't want to see me shining in my solos games, guys. They've had enough of me winning them. No games on a Saturday. No games for me specifically. I'm going to try solo queue duos. Oh, and see how that goes. Did you do a solo nuke in the last Warzone? No. No, I didn't. The interesting thing about solo nuking is that only like 6 people have actually done it properly in Warzone 2. Just like in terms of actually getting 5 wins and then doing a solo nuke. I mean 5 wins in solos, not 5 wins in like 4 wins in 4 or 5 wins in quads and then the last ones in solos. Very few people have actually done the full 6 streak, if you will. I think it's like 5 or 6 people in total. It's quite difficult to do in solos because the bomb diffuses if you die. Like, the problem with a solo nuke is that the bomb diffuses itself when you die. And that is in itself quite problematic. So the only thing you can really do is spam streaks at the bomb site or explosives and live. Like, that is pretty much the only thing you can do. I'm just gonna reboot my game because although I'm confident it is just SBMM trying to screw me a bit, I can't seem to actually get into a match right now. I think some people in chat have seen you play and get nukes and think it's easy. Yeah, 100%. I think not just people in chat, I think people generally. I think a lot of people think, in fact, there's two sort of lines of reasoning I've seen recently. A lot of people see you get a win and they think, oh, he's either his lobbies are easy or he's cheating. That's kind of how it's been. They kind of assume that either your lobbies are really easy or they assume that you're stream sniping. Like, they just assume you're doing something nuts. I am stream sniping. I mean, you're more than welcome to. You'd get pissed on about 75 times over. Yeah, like, they either assume your lobbies are easy or they assume you're cheating. Like, that's what I've seen a lot online. Like, a lot of people I see online, they're just like when I did a video, about FIFA kills 100 match streak, the entire comment section were just people saying that he's cheating. Which is mad to me because everybody knows that Thief is one of the best in the world. Thief is a very consistent LAN player. He's a very consistent player generally. Like, Thief is, like, without a doubt one of the best COD players in the scene right now. So it was really strange. I'm like, you know, this is obviously one of the best players in the world playing with 3 other of the best players in the world. Or some of the best. I'm not saying Yeet Bonk and Stellar Moves are, like, phenomenal, but they are some of the best. And it's just, yeah, it's really odd that, like, the whole comment section was literally just like, yep, this guy's cheating. And I'm like, no, it's literally, like, this is like the equivalent of a Ronaldo or Messi. You know what I mean? Like, what are you guys talking about? I don't get the whole all streamers cheat thing. Simply the amount you're risking would put all off for doing it for starters. I mean, look, it's kind of two things. Like, it's two things for me. Like, whenever you see somebody get caught for cheating and they happen to stream, it's very rarely somebody who's actually a big streamer. Like, it's very rarely like that it's actually a big content creator. Arguably, the biggest one who got banned was Wag. Arguably. Probably the biggest one to be banned in the scene is Wagnificent. Everybody else is just sort of like Barry Barrington, who sometimes plays some comp games, but nobody really knows who he is. Like, you know, it's not a Jowo, it's not a FIFA kill, it's not a Jukies, it's not a streamer whose actual livelihood and day-to-day life depends on them being a streamer. It's always just some random geezer who happens to stream, not a full-time streamer. Like, that's the first thing. And the second thing is, like, I'm confident there are some guys out there who probably do cheat. I'm confident there are probably some top players who probably do cheat. The reality is, though, the people who normally pass the judgments on it are people who are dog shit at the game. Like, the people who normally try to guess whether somebody is or isn't are normally people who are horrifically bad at the game and don't really have the game sense or the knowledge to make those discernible decisions. Like I remember somebody did like there's been videos done on certain people in the past where I've seen the video, I've watched it, and I've gone, oh yeah, like you can hear that guy through the wall. Or you can hear somebody else, like, you know, or like there's somebody behind you. Like it's just simple things, like, you know, like it's not like, you know, or God, there's a guy in the CDL right now who people are like, oh, this looks a bit sus. And I'm like, bro, his entire team is comming every single move to him. Like, what do you mean it's a bit sus? Like, he knows where everybody is for the most part. Try search for quads or resurgence? I'll try. I mean, it's... Don't really know what's going on. It feels like I'm shadow banned, if I'm being honest. But the website is saying that I'm not shadowed. The website's saying I'm fine. Try search quads resurgence. I mean, we'll give it a go. It's really odd. Like, the website says I'm not shadow banned, but it feels like I am because I can't actually find anything. I can find multiplayer games, though. We've already rebooted the game. I will join if one of you wants to quickly host for me, matchmake, put me in and see what happens. We can see if that works. I will say right now though, it's not going very well. What's PE playing? I'll join a War Daddy. Joining game session? Maybe not lockdown quads. Yeah, if you just want to throw me into a duos game and see what happens, War Daddy. And then if you just want to back out and do your thing, do your thing. Very odd. I've never watched Blue personally. They don't want to see me shining, Chad. They don't want to see me shining. If this goes up to 200 ping again, it effectively means that I'm shadowed. But the website says I'm not. So that's a concern. I would rather be able to stream before I leave for Australia. But we will see. If this jumps up to 200 ping, though, I'm ruined. And this might become a Valorant stream. I mean, you know, there's just no way around it. We played a couple solos and the game's gone, nah, broski. The website, I assume the website updates automatically. At the moment, it's saying no ban detected, no limited matchmaking. It's just saying you're fine. We will have to wait and see. I did have like 12 spectators in my first solos game, so I wouldn't be entirely shocked. Oh no, hold up. We're connecting to a game now. But will it let me in? That's the question. But will it let me in? It's almost like I get this, like, sometimes. I feel like I get this sometimes. I get this, like, weird scenario where, it's like the game is checking my account just to make sure everything's fine, and then it eventually lets me in. I wouldn't know the full ins and outs of how their system works, but it feels like it does happen. The website still says nothing, so I will assume that I'm fine on that front. I do wonder sometimes if because we region hop a lot, it kind of messes with things. And we have been region hopping. Like, we haven't exactly hidden that from you guys. We've been region hopping a fair bit. And part of it was definitely to avoid problems in that nuke run. As you guys saw, we did get stream sniped on like 1 or 2 separate occasions. So we'll see how it happens. Okay, it's let us in. Sweet. Perfect. We're in a game now. That's really weird. I will probably search solos after this. Maybe after I'm in a game, it's just going to be like, yep, you're fine. No worries, bro.
We're headed to the war zone. Get geared up and stand by.
Region hopping is in like switching regions, so whether that's like an express VPN or if you deliberately move out of region. We've been doing a fair bit of that recently. Primarily to avoid the amount of cheaters we've experienced on quads in Europe. But there's also, oh gosh, there's also another element of that is obviously we've had some stream snipers recently, so we've sort of rotated between servers to try and counteract that. It's one of the reasons I don't show latency on stream anymore. Because we had people like deliberately trying to get into our games, which was all a bit wild. Thankfully, Activision are probably going to give me streamer mode, hopefully. I've spoken to them about it, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how we get on.
Let's get that bird spinning. Finish up. We're airborne in 3. There we are. Head shed gave the green light. We're deploying you to the front.
I was about to say, it could have been an early gym session for me today. Hey, thank you for matchmaking for me, War Daddy. Appreciate you. We'll do a little solo duo. I can win these. They need to release streamer mode for everybody. I would agree to a certain extent. Streamer mode does obscure people's usernames, which is a bonus, and it does allow anybody who streams a certain degree of protection or anybody who's being weirdly targeted.
Keep clear of that gas. Get to the safe zone.
As long as the report system still functionally works with streamer mode, then I am all for it. Let everybody have it. I mean, pretty much every game has it. Apex has it. I know Valorant has it. PUBG has it. I'm going to let these guys war.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Well,
Ready to fight.
I was hoping that they would actually fight on the building, but that didn't seem to be the case. Everybody just weirdly decided to land vaguely near the point. I think the server I'm in has slowdown lag as well, which is plausibly a little less ideal, but we'll see how we get on. I would just like to do more solos today. Hey, thank you very much for the 10 Canadian engaged. Appreciate you. I normally watch Westy most of the time. Just want to say congrats on the nuke. Yeah, it's a wild problem, bro. It's a wild problem. It's a wild problem. It is what it is, though. I might land on this king's head, assuming he's on the roof. I'm making a double risky play here, but... Right, that's
Enemy took that one.
that's my mistake for using a shotgun. It's... We'll try solos now. Hopefully we'll let us find a game. Blake, thank you for the 5 again. Appreciate you. Thought about switching to this game since playing Apex, learned BRs. But all I see is a giant mess cheating like Battlefield 3. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you, man. Like, the cheating is pretty bad. Like, there's no way around it. Like, it's gotten a lot better after Christmas. It's a lot rarer after Christmas. That being said, it still exists. I think the thing for me is, like, I'm kind of, like, the streamers you see online, we are extraneous examples of it. Because we're in such a high KD bracket and such a high MMR bracket that we are statistically very likely to run into them. Like, in a matchmaking pool, you can have, if you have very good players being matched up with other very good players, like, the inevitability is that some of those players might not be legitimate. That's to be expected, you know? Hopefully it lets us find a game this time around. That would be more than ideal. I would like to play solos today. I've actually enjoyed my... I'm going to go into multiplayer and then go back into Warzone, because that normally seems to, like, rejig things in my experience. It's almost like the equivalent of restarting your game without restarting your game. Nah, it should be alright. I'd rather play solos, if I'm being honest. Like, I want to do some solo content, but... It's matchmaking service. Cool. 24 ping. See how we get on. Yeah, a 1.3 KD is a 0% lobby. Anything above 0.8 is more than average. The average is 0.8. The average KD of Call of Duty is 0.8. So you have to bear in mind. I mean, I don't even know what my KD is over the last 10 games. I'm going to assume it's... Let's have a look. 2.95 lifetime, last 10 games, 4.19. So, yeah, I'm guaranteed in 0% pretty much every single time. And also, I've played 417 career games, and of those 417 games, I've won 151 of them. I've finished top 5 in another 100 of them. And then in another 100 of them, I finished top 25. So in effectively 75% of my games, I make it to a point in the match where the game considers it to be an achievement. You know what I mean? I'm going to do one restart of my game one more time, and hopefully that'll rejig things. I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be okay. So, like, that's a really interesting way of thinking about it, but, like, if the game considers a top 20 finish to be a merit of improvement, that would mean for 75% of my games, Call of Duty thinks I'm doing a good job. And that's, you know, that's a statistic that's pretty nutty if you think about it. hate that I have to do this every single time I launch the game. It's like actually pain. There's got to be people playing solos today. There's got to be plenty of people playing solos today. The account thing is still saying nothing. So I should be fine. Still not seeing anything that says that I've been shadowed. I don't think I can actually be shadowed. Or at least not anymore, I don't think. Please, COD. I would like to play some solos today. Please. I'm going to launch one last time in admin mode just to make sure NDI isn't causing any like weird extraneous buffering problems between my network and my outbound network, because that is definitely a problem that could occur. But we will see. Let's switch our region to Europe's and then run it in admin. Let's see if everything is fine. Hey, Blake, thank you very much for the super chats, bro. I appreciate you. Come on, matchmaking. We're searching 15 ping now, so that's hopefully something. Run it in admin, so hopefully that gives it network priority. have wondered if NDI is possibly causing any network bloat, but we'll see. Come on, God, find me a game. I'm alright. You know me. It's nice that my controller isn't registering any input. I actually wish I could just, like, sometimes when I use my controller, it, like... What's the word I'm looking for? Like, when I use my controller, it, glitches out all the menus and makes all of them, like, really annoying to navigate. Default system device, wavelength game... wavelength voice chat. No, not voice chat. Wavelength system. Microphone FX. Hopefully it finds me a game this time. It's actually searching at different pings from before rather than 24, 90, 200. Please, COD? Please? Please? I don't think that MSI thing's ever going to catch on. I understand the concern about it. Like, obviously, it is a problem. Oh, there we go. Lovely. I don't ever see it being a catch-on because nobody wants increased latency, and I bet you the latency for those things are actually like 20 to 30 milliseconds. I bet you the latency on those monitors is horrific. Like, the latency on my monitor is 0.03 milliseconds. Anything higher than that and I'm upset. You know what I mean? Like... Lovely. Nice little solos. Let's see how we get on. Definitely gonna go gym today. I feel really lethargic. Trying to go full wham today. You know what I mean? I need to make so many videos. I've got like, I'm not even bannering. I think I've got 12 videos in the pipeline for whilst I'm away. Obviously, I'm streaming in the second week, but I won't be making videos whilst I'm in Australia. So I've got like 12 or 13 videos just teed up to go. Because videos have been popping recently. YouTube clearly likes me.
Time for some target practice. Real things coming soon.
Crosshairs are fine on monitors. I mean, I can have a crosshair on my monitor if I wanted it. Central crosshairs are handy for most shooters, especially hipfire shooters like CS and Valorant, if you don't like the ones that they have in game. I've always been a fan of customizable crosshairs, to be honest with you. Valorant lets me stream customizable crosshairs. I'm going to be streaming COD in Sydney.
Word came down. We are green to go. So gear up, grab your shoes. We're going to the Warzone. Enemy activity will be high. Expect contact early and often.
Right. Let's have a look, sees. I think I'm going to go straight down for this scav.
Contact here.
I'm confident this scav's going to be really hot, but that's fine.
Gas is closing on your position. Suggest you hightail it out of there. Stronghold located. Targets are marked on your attack map. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Supply boxes marked. Secure those locations.
We've got the scavenger contract off rip just because I think this area is quite good because the scav boxes always tend to spawn fairly close to each other. So, oh, that guy's like splatted by the looks of it. So that's definitely a consideration to make. So we can just keep moving on it. It's a place with dedicated setups, Dad Gamer. We will be streaming live from Fortress in Sydney.
2 to go.
For those of you who are interested and happen to be from Australia, which I doubt is very many of you, considering it's like 4 a.m. over there right now, but there are a fair number of you in the mornings, at least. Not sure what that guy's plan is. He's just vaguely mincing around on that roof. Yeah, I was quite surprised at how good their streaming setups were as well.
Secured. 1 remaining.
Brilliant. Okay, cool. We're going to secure this last box here, and then we are going to rotate through into the buy station, pick up a loadout drop, and we're just going to work our way through there. I'm actually going to be a touch bit more aggressive in this round than I am normally.
Box is secured.
Got portable, so I may as well use the portable because it just reduces risk of me having to challenge a different loadout. There's always people are generally always going to play around those buy stations. Yeah, I'm generally going to play a little bit more aggressive. I want to kind of build an emphasis on how you play solos aggressively. A lot of people have always asked me, like, how do you actually get around to playing solos aggressively? You always need selfs, you always need portables. You basically need to be running a mix of as many aggressive elements of the game as humanly possible. Like, we know there's people on this roof right now, so what are we going to do? We're going to parachute across, and if they're not on that roof and if they're fighting down in this building, we're going to rotate across from that. I think the person who was on this roof has already rotated. We're seeing the tracers. So I've visually identified 2 people fighting. I know I can capitalize on it. I can get both of their positions just by using the zip line. One of them's playing the underside of the building. Another one's playing the press on the building. This guy's now on the roof. He's an easy pick for me whilst he's fighting. Nice easy. He would have seen the loot spillage. That guy's now also been pressed by somebody else. So the guy, there's probably a guy immediately under me now. That was a very lucky pre-airstrike, I can't lie. Okay, no, this guy got killed. The guy he shot got killed, so it's basically just, yeah, I've won this entire fight. 3-man fight is all mine. Lovely. Right, cool. We have plenty of cash from that equation. I'm probably going to try and I'm going to quickly go loot that guy, see if I can get enough for a UAV. Oh, I still have the broken perk package. I'm going to have to pick up a different one. I thought I had high alert and whatnot. I don't know why it hasn't selected the correct perks. I'm going to go take this guy's cash, and hopefully maybe he has a perk package for me that's a bit more livable. Oh, he's got a UAV for me. Even better. Just having an abundance of cash is just a really good way to play aggressively. Portable radars and UAVs are your best friends, and the more of those you can have on rotation, the better you can play. I'm just going to pop 1 UE now for this rotation, knowing that I can get another one. I'm going to pop this plate box as well, because I don't need abundances of plates necessarily. I'm going to take this default perk package just because. We are going to rotate into the circle. And we're going to do that by parachuting our way off of the zip line to the buy station that we've preset. And then we're going to go from that to another zip line, probably the one across the coast in cargo. And we are literally just going to use redeploy balloons for maximum information. That's a really easy way to play aggressively in Warzone. It's just to fly above people and get intel. Like, every time you fly above somebody, they probably won't see you. That's always a very simple but effective thing to bear in mind. The majority of people you fly over, provided you have the altitude, have no idea that you're there. Like, I'm quite low altitude here. People would know if I push them at this point. I've just seen a geezer here, so I'm going to play towards fire station. He's seen me. He has a sniper, so I'm going to back down off the bottom of this building. Jumping a little bit to obscure where my footsteps are coming from. I've played through the shots there. He's going to nade. He's bottled it. He's going to play. He's going to expect the push, and he's backed away. He's playing under. He's going to drop down. I'm going to drop down. I'm deliberately going to slide away. He's probably going to play back up the stairwell that I just left. Which means I'm going to play the out onto here. Dropping the portable radar, because we know the portable radar is running out. He's going up the stairwell as we speak. I'm going to play back up through here. He's probably going to smoke himself and try to run away. Wouldn't surprise me. It could have been a decoy. We've got another ping. It was definitely a decoy. He's playing in the room next to me. He's playing corner to corner on the door. So I'm going to make a small amount of noise and make it look like I'm running up the stairs. I'm going to make him think I've run up the stairs. I'm now going to play a sound cue. And then I'm going to bust the door. Easy. Cool. Nice and easy. 4K in cash. I've got a little bit of the gear I wanted. I'll take that. I mean, I could have done with more cash out of that equation if I'm being perfectly frank. So I will just play across the cargo now and try and land on somebody else. We deliberately created hesitation gaps there. By running up the metal stairs, he couldn't tell if I was above or below. Somebody's sniping at me from that tower up there. He couldn't tell if I was below or above in that equation. And because he couldn't tell if I was below or above, he wasn't expecting the door slam. And that gave me enough of a hesitation window for me to play the push on him. I'm now actively being sniped at from that guy. He's pretty bad, though. I lied. He's good. He landed a shot. I'm just going to play this abandoned cash building quickly to get the money I need. With some extra UAVs. UAVs are your friend for playing aggressively. If you want to play aggressively, you have to have UAVs. They are the bread and butter of this entire equation. We have a self-res. I'm going to go play across here for a UAV and then a zip. I know there's already a guy on that hill, so I might play that hill. I think I might have just seen somebody inside this warehouse. I'm not sure. There was like a small color change. It could have just been me, though. Yeah, it's probably just me. We're chilling. I'm going to do something deliberately somewhat scummy here. I'm going to put a mosquito drone up in this area near the buy station. I'm going to smoke out this buy because I don't necessarily know if I'm going to get shot at. I'm going to get a Yui. Going to pop Yui. Okay, we got a guy to the right there. I have enough time to play this guy out, which is probably what I'm going to do because I know that there's another person on the building on the hill that I can then rotate to. So what I'm going to do here, this guy's in the side room. Going to nade in. He's played downstairs here. We're using our tracker to our advantage. He's probably played back up inside the room. He's above me. He's 100% above me to my left. I'm going to fake a decoy grenade. I'm just going to mask my footsteps away from him. And then I'm going to re-peek him from this stairwell. I think he might have left. His microphone was left on, so I know he hadn't left. That's very unfortunate for him. I know there's still people fighting on those hills based on that mortar strike, so I'm now going to play across to the mortar. I'm going to equip my standardized, like, stepper piece of equipment. Jesus Christ. I was going to see if I could get a pick on him, but I couldn't. That's unfortunate. We know there's still people on this hillside. I'm just going to play a little bit passive for... Okay. We were supposed to get a ledge hang there that did not end up materializing, chat. I can't lie to you. I'm going to decoy this buy station.
Friendly buy station deployed.
It's always about creating a hesitation gap. It's a good thing I had a Mountaineer on. It's all about creating a hesitation gap, and that's literally all we did there. We made him look at the... He looked at the buy station instead of looking at his own ladder, which gave me just enough of a window to play him. A more intelligent slash better player wouldn't have done that. There's somebody on the opposite side of this door. May as well use a double stuns to our advantage, eh? We're going to take this muni box because I'm going to get more stuns on board. I normally play with smokes, but I can live with playing with stuns. I'll swap out between the two here. I'm just going to quickly hit this ammo cache inside, so I've got extra smoke grenades for this rotation up the hill, which is probably going to be somewhat problematic. I made a fair amount of noise, so I'm expecting everybody to know that I'm here, which is why I am being a little bit more precautious about this move up the hill with smokes. And I will swap between my smoke grenades and my stun grenades accordingly. If I feel like I'm getting into a gunfight, I'll go to the stuns. But this is how we're just roaming aggressively. We've got 5 kills on the board so far. We've got plenty of time for more. Although there are 16 alive, which is somewhat concerning. We don't have enough cash here for a UE just yet. Somebody could be playing sound cues in this building, which is probably what they're doing. Baiting the door sound cue, so if anybody is inside is camping, they're just fixated on this door at this point. Or they think I'm inside. One of the two. I actually am going to use a smoke here, just in case there's somebody on the roof. I'm going to use another smoke. I'm going to play towards the LTV. I'm hopping in the LTV, and I am out of here. I don't have enough information on who is or isn't in the buildings at the moment. So I'm just going to roam. And I'm going to do this quite effectively as well. Roaming is a really easy way to get up some kills. We've got an LTV in solos. Like, there aren't that many people alive. I've got some weird buildings rendering in here. That's always fun. Anybody who's vaguely off the edge of the circle here is probably an easy pick right now. There's a guy in this building opposite us. I would like to push him, but I've got to be careful because there is a UAV tower that's just gone up. So this guy is actually going to push out of this circle any second now, which means I'll be able to actually aggro the person playing off this hill, and then I'll be able to collapse into that building. Just spotted him. He's up on the top left here. You can see him, like, vaguely peeking. He's just taking a snipe at somebody. Oof. That would be another sniper in this equation. I'm assuming it's one on that roof. We're in a bit of a sticky one here, so I'm just going to rotate. There's being aggressive, and then there's being selectively aggressive. Like, I'm not going to win that fight sandwich between two guys who don't want to move. So I'm just going to rotate through to here, and I'm going to spend some time flying at people. There could be somebody in this building. It's an obvious building to pick for these final circles, so I wouldn't be shocked. I'm expecting somebody to possibly be on that roof, but so far so good. I'm just going to float around here. Somebody I saw parachute across from building to building. There's somebody at the top of the main building right now. I'm going to play a really aggressive push on that. He's got a riot shield. He has a riot shield, so he's going to think that he's the winner in this equation. He's going to get really aggressive with me. I'm just going to cook one nade. Cook another nade. That nade somehow bounced out. Just gonna go back to my heady. Got a thermi now. He probably thinks I'm out of util at this point. Nice and easy. Easy kill on a shielder. We're going to drop this. We're going to take his mask. Could be more people pushing around this roof. I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, it is obviously a fairly attractive position in the circle. So I am just going to vaguely look around and be a bit vigilant. I'm expecting somebody to be in the building unders as well. Like, yeah.
Gas is inbound, marking a new safe zone. Gas is closing in.
The easiest slip in and out of this situation is to play across these buildings, so that's what we're going to do. So I'm not necessarily playing positionally for this final circle. I'm literally just playing... This is somewhat positional, but I am primarily just playing the aggro through these buildings in terms of what makes sense.
Only 4 remain. Finish the job.
Sounds like a sniper possibly on my roof. Oh my word.
Less than 5, we're still standing. That victory's ours next time. The enemy took down one.
He's cheating. Cheating his nuts off. Let's go, baby. Didn't even try to hide it.
Gas inbound. Safe zone reloaded.
And he still lost. I think we've played 5 games of solos today and we've ran into cheaters in 3 of them. How nutty is that? How crazy is that, chat? I mean, shout out to Far Out. I can't type match, I don't think.
Gas is inbound.
We'll spectate the end of this. Oof. I would not have peeked that with a sniper. I'm not sure peeking that with a sniper is a very wise idea at all. He's got smoke grenades. If he wanted to be aggressive, he could. We were having fun, and then out of region happened. Oh, this guy needs to smoke himself off. No, he's gonna die. Yep, he didn't see the guy on the stairwell shooting at him. Well, I'm astonished that that guy didn't get instantly kicked, by the way, when I reported him, because that was, I mean, it was fairly blatant. Look, I'm somewhat moderately surprised he hasn't just been, like, insta-booted from the server there. But maybe that's on me for having expectations, eh? When did my last report actually come in technically as a report identified being for a ban? So game 1, DDoS. Game 2, a cheater who quit. Game 3, a guy who like straight up aimbotted me in the head. Well, sorry, not game 3. Game whatever this is, like 6. I think we've played like 5 or 6 games, and that guy was like 100% yacked up. Yeah, he can hear me run up the stairs, but his aim is like ridiculously busted, guys. And also, you have to bear in mind, he wasn't actually focusing on the stairs until he looked down with his sniper rifle whilst reloading. Like, if you guys don't think that kill cam was an aimbot, then there's no helping you, I'm afraid. Like, he's obviously keyboard and mouse, and his gun has just not moved from the center of my forehead. Like... Yeah, you can see him, like, as he reloads his sniper, he sort of, like, glances down. Yeah, he could have audibly heard me. And then his gun literally just makes 0 movement whatsoever whilst he shoots me cleanly in the head with no movement. So yeah, it's fairly blatant. He'll probably get permed within the next couple of days, hopefully. Depends how many reports I have to go through. If I get 30 wing solo, can I go for a nuke with my squad after? Yes, Javelin. You can use a nuke contract for any format of game once you have 30 wins. So once you get 30 wins in a season, you could go for any kind of nuke contract. Whether or not you get hacked on in those, another question entirely.
Gear up fast. We're about to get evil.
There's nothing in the game chat so far, thank God. What are your thoughts on the new LMG? I mean, it's got 900 TTK, so it's just not really in the conversation, is it? You know what I mean? 900 millisecond TTK just means it's not... It's not really in the conversation of things.
Time's over. Stand by for deployment to the Warzone.
Prep for dust off. We're up in 3 mics. Let's move. You are.
Right,
Got the
let's
green light.
believe.
We're going to the war zone. Grab your gear and shoot. We're up in
Let's
3.
believe, chat. We're going to do another little aggression set, aggression masterclass, if you will. The plan generally is just to play full aggressive as much as humanly possible. Which means we need to find a bounty and a zip line that are fairly close together. I would rather we're going to go for this.
Marking contract.
Enemies dropping into the AO.
Okay. Aggression 101. This is a loadout drop. Normally I'd play bounty zip line. I'm deliberately going to go deep onto Old Town here, because that is going to be the first loady drop on the edge of cargo, and I reckon I might be able to get there first. Did I fix my perks? No, I didn't. Will I remember next time? Hopefully. This loady might actually end up being a water loady. No, it's just on land, which means it is literally a case of whoever gets there first. I think so far that's me. Okay, it's this geezer as well.
Soldier incoming.
Perfect. We managed to achieve that fairly successfully. Right. Aggressive round. We know there's still somebody near that, so they're probably going to play that eventually. Like, they will get on site for that loady. We're just going to play for this bounty. We're going to get this bounty on board, and we're going to start moving from the bounty. Why is there an airstrike marked across the map for me? And why has that been marked for me in any way, shape, or form, Warzone? Right, so we've got one bounty up there. I reckon there's still somebody near me, so I'm just going to have a quick glance around. Like, I don't think he's left this cargo building yet, because there were 2. One backed away. One backed away interior, though, so he was probably just playing time, really. He was probably just playing time. I'm not seeing anybody push out, so... I'm probably going to go play this bounty. This bounty's actually fighting somebody right now, so even better for me. Probably capitalize a little bit off the chaos here. Whenever you're in a situation where 2 people are already fighting, you basically have the advantage anyway, because they're so preoccupied and tunnel-visioned on one another. They very seldom actually look around and get ready for another threat to push them. It's a very common thing that players do in Warzone that is one of the worst character traits of most Warzone players. Not really sure what the plan was there.
Hell of a job.
Okay, we got a guy in front of me. There's a guy next to me. There's somebody back in the building. I just killed somebody in. I thought he was behind me, but like, I don't know. That was a really weird audio occlusion thing. When I was standing here, it sounded like it came from here, but when I got inside, it came from outside. It's almost as if the boxes were giving me audio occlusion, like poor audio occlusion. I'm not entirely sure what I got there. It was really odd. I was just playing off of the sound cues.
Closing in. Relocating the
My
safe
headset
zone.
is on the correct direction, so... I am really glad I'm getting this footage, by the way, because I don't know if you guys are noticing this. I'm going to show this to you again. I want you to... Once I kill this guy... Okay, once I don't kill this guy... If you guys rewind that, go back and take a look at... Tactical stance? That's criminal. Go back and look at how much little audio I had on my zipline. That is an audio bug in the game. I was getting muted audio from a point in the game. My audio is now fine because I died. I think it's when I experienced an explosion at the start of the round. It mutes your audio until something changes. I'm going to find exactly when the muted audio kicks in. But that is a bug in Warzone. That is why that zipline made no audio for me. So if you've ever wondered why your game sounds like you have bloody earplugs in, it's because there are bugs that do exactly that. Oh my god, this guy's like... Oh yeah, I'm probably dead here. Maybe, I can probably... Actually, I might be able to scum it away. This guy doesn't seem very good. Keep rotating. There is shit going on above me. I mean, I'm glad I got plates. No, there's something else. I'll show you this guy. I'll show you this when I die. When I die, I'm going to go back through the VOD and I'm going to explain exactly what I was talking about. I need to fix my perks next round, but I will explain exactly what I was talking about. So the audio sound, so the sound stage in Warzone is generally decent. There is a bug in the game, and I think it's when you have an explosive or you hit the floor too fast, There is a bug in the game that makes it sound like you've got earplugs in. It's a really weird bug. I'm gonna go for this bounty. We're gonna keep aggressively roaming this. It's a very subtle change to a point where you probably wouldn't notice it if you weren't listening for it. I'd say it changes your own. I'd say it makes you.
All bounty targets are KIA.
I'd say it makes you have 20 to 30% less audio. Arguably, up to 40% less footsteps. There is a very specific bug in the game that is occurring. I'm going to find what caused it. I'm going to send it to Ricochet / all of the geezers in game. I keep saying Ricochet when I mean Raven. I just, you know, I talk about this bloody company so much now. It's all just one blurb of words. I'm going to try and send it to some devs because I am confident that is why people have bad audio in Warzone the vast majority of the time. But...
Hit us hard that time. Let's regroup and
Oh, it's
get
this
back
guy
out there,
again.
yep.
I mean, he should definitely have more spread on that. Let me find it. I'm going to find what it was. I'm going to quickly pull up a tab of my own stream. If Warzone allows it. Right. So we are going to mute game and system. Don't need to... Right. I'm going to go find what occurred. I'm going to go volume mixer, Microsoft Edge, wavelength system. Cool. Perfect. So it was the start of this round that I literally just played. So... there first. Audio's fine. So far, that's me. Okay, it's this geezer as well. Let me bring up display capture. So audio's fine. Audio's fine. Audio's still fine. I want to find what the trigger point for this was. The trigger point for this bug. Perfect. We managed to achieve that fairly successfully. It's still fine. Aggressive round. We know there's still somebody near that. So I'm gonna accelerate this. We're gonna start bin mark for me in any way, shape, or form. Warzone. One back to wait. He was better for me. Probably capitalize. Literally have the advantage anyway because they're so preoccupied and tunnel visioned on one another. They very it's a very common thing that players do in Warzone that is one of the worst character traits of most Warzone players. It's when I hit the floor somewhere near here. Not really sure what the plan was there. Yeah, we got a guy in front of me. I think it's here. I think it's like here. I hit the floor. And then the audio generally gets muted. I don't know. That was really... But when I got like poor audio cues. My headset is... Yeah, it was there. So it's almost as if it's... I don't know. That was a really... But let me try and find a perfect example of this. So I hit the floor in this gameplay clip, right? And I want you to listen to the audio level on this drop, right? Very loud, right? And then later on, from here, really, that was a real like poor audio occlusion. I'm not entirely sure what I got. Later on, It was really odd.
I'm gonna do
the sound cues.
the same jump again, roughly.
My headset is on the correct direction, so.
And it's like half the volume. Did you see that? Like this jump here, I practically make no noise compared to the first one. So this is the second jump, right? I'm going to turn the stream mix up to like 100%. This is the second jump. Listen to how quiet the landing is on this. Is on the correct direction, so. Basically no noise, right? Pretty much no sound. That is on the correct direction, so. Pretty much zero sound, right? But this first one, when I go and challenge this guy, where I think the glitch occurs, I think it's after you hit the floor at a certain momentum. It's like, listen to how loud this is comparatively first. Very obvious clunk as I hit the floor. And then after that, that clunk is gone. That was very obvious and very loud, right? But then this one, just playing off of the sound cues. My headset is on the correct direction, so you should still make a clunk before you slide. Very little, right? I want you to listen to the zip line here. No sound. I am literally no audio on the zip line. So there is a glitch in the game where I am really glad I'm getting this footage, by the way, because I don't know if when you hit the floor, I think it's almost as though the stun effect from the audio in your head, like, because when you get hit by flashbangs, or when you get hit by stun grenades, or when you get hit by explosives, or when you hit the ground, there is a brief period of time where your audio has almost a stun effect, and it's like that stun effect is permanently staying in the game. Because this zipline's made no sound, right? I am really and then later on until when I die on my zipline, the game is abundant. Why? Oh my! I might be able to. I die, and then all of my soundstage comes back. Like I can hear these guys so easily now compared to before. I can clearly hear them going on above my head. Do you see what I mean? It's really, really odd. Do I use a zip in this?
I die.
Right, yeah, look, I use a zip again. Look at the amount of audio comparatively. Like, it's a short zip, so there's less of it, but you still hear it. If you compare that to the first one, before I get killed... None. Like, literally no audio. The audio for me hitting the zip is completely gone. But then after I die, it comes back. I am really glad I'm getting this footage. So there's literally a game, like an audio breaking bug in Warzone. Like, straight up full audio chalk in Warzone. Which is very, very peculiar. I am going to tweet about it, because I'm glad I'm finally sort of like... I've noticed it a couple of times, but I've never really gathered evidence of it. But there's 100% an audio bug in Warzone. So what I think is occurring is the concussion effect from you hitting the floor too hard. Because you know when you hit the floor too hard, your character kind of like... It's like you've been stun grenaded, your audio returns. It's like that's permanently staying as an effect, and it's not releasing the effect. Right, perks, yeah. You guys keep remembering, and I keep forgetting.
gonna have to back out. I'm really glad that we figured that out. It's very curious. What I think it is the concussion effect from taking damage as you fall. I didn't take damage in that clip, but I think it could still be triggered from dropping from a height. So I'm very curious to see. I'm glad we found what that was, or at least I've got some degree of evidence for what it is. I would have to get the raw gameplay without my sound mixing to really show it to a developer. So I'm going to try and record as many games as possible in future where that occurs and show them the before and after, because then they'll see what I'm talking about. Cool. Character's feet clipping below the audio space. It could be that. It could be that, Bloodline. Something of that demeanor. There's definitely something going wrong with it. And I would say that's a fairly common bug as well, because I've noticed it happen a lot of times. And it's like your character has earplugs in from DayZ. Madness, isn't it? Sorry for the random stream tangent, chat. I did just want to go over this one because the odds of us getting a solo nuke today seems unlikely given the number of like problems we've ran into. But it's worth talking about at least, or at least I can say I've got some clip of it or something. Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm glad we got to do a little bit of that. If the coding of the audio is linked to the drop height instead of the health lost from the drop. Yeah, that could be it. That could be it. It probably is something of that demeanor. But what I think is occurring is like, if there is a... Let's say when you hit the floor, there's like an effect, an audio effect or an audio cue is being played that takes priority because your character is stunned. So like when you hit the floor too hard, your character goes, like their health comes back, like they're recovering from a stunned position of damage. It's as though that audio effect doesn't release. It's like it stays on until you die or until something randomly triggers it to disappear. So it's definitely a bug in the game. It's 100% something I've noticed more than once. Like I'm gonna find quickly, hopefully, I'm gonna find this random balloon. I just want you to like, you can hear that the zipline audio is back. In fact, I'm gonna hit the ground a little too hard here. I'm gonna see if I can get the same thing to replicate. So I'm just gonna hit the ground from livable but still pain height. Okay, the audio is still fine. So there's something that causes it to replicate at some point or another, but we'll see it.
Deployment to the war zone has been authorized.
Prep for dust off. We're up in 3 mics. Let's move. Heads all here. Word came down. We are green to go. So gear up, grab your chutes. We're going to the war zone. Enemy activity will be high.
Yeah, it's curious, Jet, officially. It's very curious. I mean, at least I'm glad we saw some of it in action. I've noticed this bug a couple of times. I've just assumed it's something that eventually resets, so I've ignored it. But you only notice it when you really are listening and paying attention. Like, my audio all stream has been fantastic. Like, I've heard people, you know, 2-3 buildings away. Then all of a sudden I couldn't, and I was like, wait, what's happened? You know? So if you weren't actively listening for it, you probably wouldn't notice it. Right, now that we've got our perk package sorted, we're playing full aggressive. Aggressive step 1, we always play bounty to zipline. Don't take the bounty straight away. I'm gonna have to play this guy out because he wants the smoke. Wow, he actually beat me on that. Oh, this guy again, bro. Like, I think keep playing against this geezer. I want to play a bounty to a zip. Because bounty to zip is the way to go. Right, bounty to zip, bounty to zip. What are my options? Bounty to zip, there we go. Cool. Want to try and get Lodi as fast as humanly possible, and the... Oh, is that in the tunnel? I mean, it's slower, but we'll still get it quickly. Bounty to zip is always a really easy way of just getting this done. Gonna play... You know what? I heard a geezer in the room. I fight geezer in room, you know? Random man tries to push me. Random man perishes for trying to push me. Right, play the zip. Well, play the bounty, then play the zip. Okay, we got the bounty. Go up here, hit zip. Our bounty is a king, which is... How do you say good for morale? Got gulag entry kit as well. Perfect. These are the benefits of looting that a lot of people like. A lot of people don't loot as much as they probably should in Warzone. And they just simply assume that everything's going to be fine. I'm going to go play this guy out. I've got a counter UAV. I've got a Bruin. I've got a striker. I've got enough to make this happen. Somebody has just tried to snipe me across map, and if it's that bounty, I will be somewhat moderately concerned. Might not be. Not entirely sure. Either way, I don't really know if I'd be sniping at people like that if I was in their position. Oh, that's unlucky. There was already 2 people here, bro.
You got a loadout drop inbound.
For my friend.
Target is EKIA. Airdrop is inbound. Gas is closing in. Get to the new safe zone.
What you just witnessed is why I'm not a fan of redeploy packs. That is why I'm not a fan of redeploy packs, because there was no downside to me making that push. Because I had a gulag and a redeploy, meaning that if I chanced my arm, it would have been fair enough. I've still got gulag, guys.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Yeah, fairly unfortunate. The thing about dropping in this location, whoever I just killed, there's people firing near the zip, so we're going to go play aggressively towards that. The thing about dropping in near your loadout is that I know that your ultimate goal is still to get your loadout. So all I need to do is like a fair bit of patience and a 360, and I probably will find all participants. As per before, we're going to play the zip. Zips allow us to get intel. We know there's some people fighting over here. Going to play the angle towards this guy on the roof. He's focusing on the person he's fighting on. He is going to be livid with his in-game audio. Fights like these are great because it means that I know I'm not going to be in a scenario where the other guy gets a freebie, because I know that he can't kill this dude from here unless he's got like a sniper or something. But that other guy who was in the previous fight could play across now. Yeah, GG. I did not hear him go out. Yeah, that's GG. Oh god, I hate the Ram 7. I'm not a big fan of the Ram 7 in the ghoulie. I don't tend to have a lot of luck with it. I'm not going to get a Lodi anytime soon. Do you reckon it's been 3.5 minutes? If it's been 3.5 minutes, then that original... I'm going to make a bit of a risky play. If it's been 3.5 minutes, my gulag token's gone from this roof. Slash where I killed the king. If it hasn't been 3.5 minutes, there's still loot here, so... I would get the gulag token again. Okay. Second gulag token is not happening for us.
Got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated. Cash dropping in wrap.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to delete all of my perk packages again. We know that there are lots of people fighting generally in this location. So I can probably play a little bit ratty on some of these guys and get some freebies. I'm going to see if this parachuter tries to land near me. No, he's going to go dive in. I know there's a guy in the building next to me, so I'm just playing a bit sound QE at the minute.
Be advised, there's an enemy squad gunning for you.
Okay, I'm big game bounty. That's... cash drop's been a bit problematic. Gonna play cash into buy station. Let's even get a UAV and a loadie here.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Lead recon overhead.
That's new. Okay, they've added callouts for UAVs.
Friendly loadout drops on the way.
When did they do that? You guys hear that?
UAV is bingo fuel.
Enemy UAV overhead. And it's new. Oh my gosh. I've literally not heard that ladder until the final second.
Fatal. It's just an opportunity.
Oh my word. I've literally not heard him until the final ladder.
Marking a new safe zone.
If you're near enough when they pop it was a secret change in the last update. Okay, that's cool. Perfect. So they've added that back in now, finally. So I'm assuming if you're in radius of the UAV...
Ladder audio's always been scuffed, man. Can't stand it. I'll be real with you, chat. I'm probably going to call it there. We're live tomorrow with Westy, Stott, and Jaff. We're probably going to do another nuke run. I'm going to call it there just because I've still got loads of videos to make on today, Sunday, and Monday before I leave for Australia. But we will be live every single day. We are live tomorrow morning at about 10, 11 o'clock with the boys for another nuke run. So I'm going to call it there, but we'll see you there.